Fun, in all lowercase and with a period at the end, is my favorite band of all time. I'll confess that their music has been somewhat of an obsession of mine for a long time, at least since middle school and likely for even longer. Fun formed in 2008 after Nate Ruess's band The Format split up. The band consists of 3 members, Nate Ruess on vocals, Jack Antonoff on guitar, drums, percussion, piano, and backing vocals, and Andrew Dost on piano, guitar, keyboard, flugelhorn, trumpet, glockenspiel, drums, bass guitar, and backing vocals, because Andrew Dost is sort of just built differently, I fucking guess. The band released 2 studio albums and a few EPs before ultimately going on hiatus in 2015. Going on hiatus in huge quotation marks because Nate Ruess released a solo album and then sort of vanished largely. Jack Antonoff found major success with his new band Bleachers, and Andrew Dost is working on his own music while also teaching at Interlochen Center for the Arts in Michigan. If you're not familiar with the band, I'll be honest, that's not too surprising. They're largely known for 2 songs released in 2012, We Are Young and Some Nights. Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. These songs were on the radio constantly at the time, with Carry On being the runner-up, but otherwise, Fun never really found the success that they deserve. To be honest, I don't even like their second album, Some Nights, very much. Their debut album, Aim and Ignite, which was considerably less popular, is by far my favorite album of all time. There's just a vibe about it that is entirely missing from Some Nights. Don't get me wrong, Fun has never released a song that I don't like at all. It's just that I think every song on Aim and Ignite trumps every song on Some Nights. I've been thinking for a while about how to make a video about Fun. This definitely isn't the type of thing I'd normally make a video about, and I don't know anything about music theory or anything, but last night, as of writing this at least, I managed to solve a mystery about this band that has been tormenting me since high school. So let's just get right to the explanations. In Some Nights, the album, there is a song called It Gets Better. The song is probably my least favorite Fun song, with it always having felt a bit too generic to me, I guess would be the right word. It's pretty much just a song about the narrator losing their virginity as far as I can tell, which, like, okay, sure, I think that's just not really a topic for me, but 2 minutes and 47 seconds into the song is where the topic of the video comes in. Take a listen. As a freshman in high school, something about this sample in this song stuck with me, and I decided I needed to find out where it was from. It sounded like it must be from some old speech or something, right? And if it's being sampled in a song, it's probably pretty popular. But all I could get from it was, a nation with no values other than their own values, and Jesus. Obviously, looking up Jesus isn't going to get me anywhere, so I looked up a nation with no values other than their own values, and I found nothing. I tried a few other search terms, but ultimately I didn't have enough information, and so my search came to an end. I gave up and forgot about it, since ultimately, I didn't even really like the song that much. But now, almost 8 years later, I'm back on my bullshit. I listen for Fun for more time in a day than I spend doing most other things, and while listening to It Gets Better, I heard it again. I decided I'd pick back up on the investigation and did a Google search, a nation with no values other than their own values. And this time, I was led to a Reddit post on r/helpmefind by u/smartusername. I hate Reddit, but elite is elite. This post mentioned not only It Gets Better, but also a song called Detox by Angel Haze and Hash Wednesday by Trash Talk. Neither of those particularly helped me, but the comment left on the post by u/Wasteland Gunner did. They mentioned a song called Mandate by Hyperstory. And listening to that song,
But a person with no values and no faith in God has got no strength. And a nation with no values other than their own values are rubbish.
That is a much clearer sample from this speech, and YouTube Music even had what words could be made out in the lyrics tab. It's how I cope with the stars, it's how I cope with the trials, but a person with no values and no striking thought has got no strength. And a nation with no values other than their own values are rubbish. And Jesus said if you have salt, you need to have salt in you, value in you. That's where we get the indistinct shouting. Jesus wanted it, have salt in you. Looking this up didn't help me much, but looking into Mandate by Hyperstory did. I found that the sampler credited on the track was named Jules Slater. Looking that up led me down a rabbit hole that ultimately amounted to nothing, although a Jules Slater did release a jazz album called Blow in 2005, which is funny in retrospect. Eventually, while in a call with a friend who knows a lot more about music than I do, I just looked up Jules Slater sampler. I passed by a result on freesound.org, soprano sax solo.wave, and they told me to go back, so I went to freesound.org. This particular sample was just of the uploader, username Vetus, or Vedes, or Veda, I don't know, man, playing the soprano saxophone. The description says they were a semi-pro player for years and always kept an archive of their audio clips, and in the comments, what name did they ask to be credited by? Jules Slater. My friend went through their profile, and after not that long of searching, managed to find it. Uploaded on November 9th, 2008, streetpreacher3.mp3.
How I cope with the trials. But a person with no values and no faith in God has got no strength. And a nation with no values other than their own values are rubbish. And Jesus said,
Out and about in York, UK with a mini disc recorder at a street market, I discovered this manic street preacher on a corner in full flight. You can hear the audio come in and out of focus as he strutted up and down the path, Bible in hand. Recorded November 8th, 2008. This is without a doubt the original sample uploaded by Jules Slater, and the only reason I was able to find it? Because Jules Slater was properly credited on Hyperstory, and he certainly was not on It Gets Better, which means, yeah, it's pretty justifiable that it's my least favorite fun song. That's the moral of this story.